Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to talk about the difference between Qigong and Neigong. So Qigong is basically, most people know the term Qigong, and that means that and so basically there's a big difference between Neigong and Qigong. Qigong means energy work or energy discipline. So energy discipline or energy work. And it typically uses breath work and movement to bring life force energy, otherwise known as Qi. Qi or life force energy. It basically brings that into the body. It cultivates Qi. So that's what Qigong does. So with Qigong, we're bringing energy from outside the body into our body through the power of our breath and movement. So, doing breathing and movements, and there's even different mudras. There's different standing postures and sitting postures that you can do for Qigong. And so Qigong is like filling yourself up like a balloon with the energy around you. And so let's talk about Neigong. Neigong means internal work or internal discipline, internal work. And in Neigong, instead of taking energy from the outside, from around us into the body, we're using the latent energy from within the body, and releasing it out into our aura or energy field. So it's actually cultivating energy from within you and releasing it out into your aura or energy field. And so it's a different perspective, really. Yeah. So in Neigong, we're using the latent energy from within the body and releasing it into our aura or energy field. In Neigong, we're also tapping into and releasing the energy that's within our own body, within our own organs and cells. So the cosmic Qigong, which is a course that I'm currently in production making, that'll be available over here on my Patreon. Right now I have the self-transformation up, and that is self-transformation challenge is basically like a program that I designed. It's using Kundalini yoga, Qigong, and meditation. So in the morning we'll have Kundalini yoga, midday we'll have a meditation, and then at night we'll have the Qigong, or it's actually considered Neigong. So what I call Qigong, what I usually refer to as Qigong, is actually Neigong, because it's just an easier word to use because most people are familiar with Qigong more so than Neigong. So that's why I do that. So let's talk about Neigong. So in the cosmic Qigong, which is actually Neigong, that and also in this self-transformation challenge over here, the Qigong, or the Neigong that I teach in there, that what that does is it taps into power that's descending from the heavens or the universe. So yeah, it taps into this universal life force energy. But it's so the truth is that we're all microcosms of the entire universe. So us being microcosms of the entire universe, one way to look at it. So basically the universe is within us. So when we channel energy from the universe, which we think is outside of us, we're actually channeling it from our own bodies out into our aura. And so that's a way to look at it. So, yeah, we're all microcosms of the entire universe. And one way to look at it, at the world, so one way to look at the world is that we are finite small beings within this enormous universe. Basically, one perspective to take is that we are, limited creatures who are small beings who are so tiny and microscopic in this entire universe. But another way to look at it, so Neigong, so Qigong looks at it like this, like you're this small being. Qigong is like this, where you see yourself as this small being, and Qigong, basically, you're taking in energy from around you, in your immediate environment, and expanding yourself with that energy. But in the Neigong view is that it's completely flipped. So the Neigong view is that you are the entire universe, and everything around you is a projection. And so this is also the shamanic view, because I'm a shaman. So this is how we look at everything. In order to balance our environment, we need to balance ourselves. It all starts within, making internal changes, and shifting the internal dynamics shifts the external dynamics. So yeah, so then let's see. So yeah, the Neigong view is completely flipped, where you are the entire universe and everything around you is a projection. So like when you look up at the stars at night, you're actually looking deep within yourself. You're looking at your, deep within yourself. And the sun, the moon, the trees, the flowers, the stars, the planets, which is why I'm also an astrologer. The sun, the moon, the planets, the trees, the flowers, those are all part of you. Those are all, a part of you. So, we're all connected, basically. That's the message. And so, because you are everything, because you are infinite, this is when we do Qigong, or when we do Neigong, what we're really doing is releasing that infinite energy from within us. So Neigong releases the infinite energy from within us. So this is because we are everything. We are infinite. We are the universe. And so in the Neigong practices that I teach, what we're really doing is releasing the infinity from within us. That's what it really is. So yeah, now I'll talk a little bit about the practices. So the practices that I learned, that I teach here at my Patreon are, they're based on practices that come from the Shang-Qing tradition. Shang-Qing is a Taoist tradition, and the Shang-Qing tradition was known for hundreds of years as being the most mystical of Taoist arts. These guys were seen as, like the Shang-Qing monks were seen as wizards and sorcerers, even from other Taoist masters. And I'll tell you why that is, because they were tapping into the heart energy. There's a lightning energy in the heart. So they were tapping into that, and that's like the most powerful energy in the body. And so, with these Neigong exercises, we're actually tapping into the Shen energy, the heart lightning energy in the heart. So the Shangqing monks were seen as wizards and sorcerers, even from Taoist masters, and they were known to be so powerful that even Taoist masters from other mountains were frightened of the Shangqing Taoist monks. They basically badmouthed them, and they were incredibly frightened of them because they were tapping into this special power in the heart center. And your heart is the most powerful part of you. That's where your soul is. So when you tap into your soul energy, that's the most powerful thing in the universe. And so they were afraid of them because of their incredible power. And this art of the Shangqing tradition is almost completely gone from the world. There are, a handful of masters that are alive that are still teaching this. It's not that common to find this stuff, being taught everywhere. So I am honored to be one of the people that's teaching this. It's really a special tradition. And so this art is almost completely lost. And so this is a powerful, closely guarded, energetic art that has been kept hidden from the public and only taught to select students in secret groups. And that's true. Like, my teacher, the person who taught me, the guy who taught me, he spent years of his life and thousands of dollars, pouring into his training to be taught this stuff. And he was told that if he ever, released it publicly, then they, that would, like, he was basically getting threatened. If he would release it publicly, that would, that they would come after him and stuff. So, this stuff is that powerful, guys. That powerful that not a lot of people want you to have it. And luckily my teacher was brave enough to come out and teach it publicly. So it's powerful stuff, guys. So this art of the Shangqing tradition is almost completely lost. We talked about that. Yeah. It's a powerful, closely guarded, energetic art that was taught in, select groups, select students learned it. And so I learned it from my teacher, and now I share it with you. And this is the high level stuff, guys. So this self-transformation over here is the high level stuff. So if you want to get into the high level stuff, you would go there. But I realized, I really recently realized that I kind of jumped the gun and I kind of released the high level stuff before releasing the basics. So so now I'm actively in the process of releasing a course that just teaches the fundamentals, the basics, and all that. So yeah, so that would be a good course to get. That's also going to be available on my Patreon for only $30. You can expect that by the end of June. It should be up there by the end of June. By the end of this month, actually. So yeah. So let's see what else I want to talk about. These are the most powerful and most healing energetic disciplines that I have ever experienced personally. And a lot of people, especially in Western society, want me to tell them exactly what they'll get from these practices. I can't do that. I just can't. Everybody has their own karma, has their own destiny, has their own, soul path that they have to travel. And so they might get some unique abilities and talents and things like that are, very unique to them. So I really couldn't tell you what you would exactly get from this. So yeah, a couple things that this has done is it has healed me from deep-rooted childhood trauma and issues. This has also healed me emotionally, psychologically, and physically. Also, I've had physical changes in my health because I have hypothyroidism and I have low testosterone. So I've actually seen a increase in testosterone and increase in my thyroid levels from doing this practice. So it is a very healing practice. It's very it's very special. So yeah, it's very powerful, guys. It'll heal you because remember, you gotta always remember when we're trying to manifest stuff in the world, when we're trying to live from our soul and manifest things that our soul wants, what we're really trying to do is change internally. We got to make some changes internally so that way they will manifest externally. Because remember, we are the entire universe. The universe is within us. So when we look at the stars at night, we're actually looking deep within ourselves. So, yeah, these practices have healed me from, emotionally, psychologically, and physically. And why that is that. So I'll explain a little bit shortly about how the pericardium meridian works. So pericardium meridian is the lightning energy of the heart center. So your soul is like this tiny little beam of light that's in your heart center. It's microscopic. And so that is surrounded by this lightning energy because remember, your soul is infinite, and so you've got to have a powerful force to prevent the infinite from expanding out into the world, or having the issues from the world come in and and into the soul. So this lightning energy forms like a bubble of protection around the soul. And so that whenever you have like issues, like emotional issues, trauma, anything, it could be the tiniest little thing or like the biggest thing, emotional abuse, emotional neglect, physical abuse, or any kind of neglect in childhood, or things like that. So this what happens is when we experience any kind of trauma, any kind of emotional upset, any kind of emotional pain, that gets lodged in that protective bubble. So the protective bubble is kind of like stopping things from coming into contact with the soul. And so yeah, it energetically works like this. So whenever we tap into that pericardium energy, in order to release the energy into our body, it has to drop all of our traumas, and so we have to process them and go through them and heal from them. Basically, when we do these exercises in the Patreon, what we're telling our heart is to release all of our traumas so that we can process them. And so that's exactly what it'll do. It'll go in there and drop all the stuff, all the crap that we've been holding on to. And so that's what it does, and that frees up this pericardium energy to travel into the rest of the body and heal everything. So It's a very powerful, very healing energy. So, it is my hope that these practices are as transformative and transformational in your life as they have been for me. They've been very transformational, very helpful for me. So I am blessed to, pass along the information to you. So yeah. I hope that these exercises are as transformative in your life as they've been in mine. So basically what I wanted to talk about now is like the concept that you are the entire universe. So, and this is basically how shamanism works. It's and Taoism and traditional Chinese medicine and things like that, and like the Vedic mantras and things like that. A lot of times we don't know how they work, but it's basically when we transform the inside, we transform the outside. So by working on ourselves, by doing these Qigong and Neigong practices, by doing the Kundalini yoga and things like that, and the meditations that I teach, we're transforming the inside. We're actually bringing up all the unconscious issues and things that we haven't dealt with, and our blockages from our success. Really, that's what it is. If you're not doing too well in life, then there's probably some unconscious blockages in regards to your success. And so what this does is it goes in there and it clears out all the unconscious stuff, processes your traumas, and then once those are cleared out, it goes into your unconscious and it starts digging up stuff to be processed and purged. And so this is very people who do this practice often find themselves needing a therapist, and that's a good thing because you have someone to talk to and about your issues and things. I know for me personally, I had to get a therapist when I started doing this stuff because it was so powerful. It was like all of my emotions that I refused to deal with started coming up, and I didn't know how to deal with them, how to manage them, and so I ended up getting a therapist, and I that ended up being really helpful because you have an objective person to talk to, who's unbiased and stuff like that. So that's really good. So when we change the inside, we change the outside. And so if your life is crap and you're working on external strategies to figure out how to get it into a better state, then you're kind of looking in the wrong place. My suggestion would be, if you want to find success and you are doing things like self-sabotaging, maybe you don't even know that you're self-sabotaging, but when basically other people can see it, but you can't, that means that it's unconscious. And so what this heart mind energy does is it goes into the unconscious and it digs all that stuff up, and so that you can be aware of it. So when you can acknowledge that you are self-sabotaging yourself, then you realize that that's actually going on, and so you can actually work on it. Again, guys, you can't work on a problem that you don't know even exists. If you're totally unaware that you're doing something to mess up your life, then I mean, you can't really do anything about it. It's not until we develop an awareness, a consciousness about our unconscious habits and behaviors and actions that we can go ahead and change things and actually change things. So, becoming conscious, that's the whole goal of everything I teach. And so, like for example, shamanic journeying. Shamanic journeying is basically going into your unconscious and digging up the things that you haven't processed yet, and working through those in a dream state, in a an altered state of consciousness. And so, even Vedic mantras, the Indian mantras, what those do is they go, you're repeating something, and that actually vibrates the cells of your body, and that also messes with your brain waves and your neural pathways and things like that. And so what you're doing when you're chanting a mantra to a deity, it's not the deity out there in the heavens that's going to come down and help you. It's you're chanting to a part of yourself internally that then triggers something within you to help you. And so, if you're doing a mantra for success, it might cause you to have thoughts about different strategies to take to become more successful. Things like that. It's shamanism and the Qigong, the Neigong. These are all very practical tools to help you. Most people can't make the changes they'd like to see in their lives on an external level. Most people their unconscious is not programmed like that, so they have to go internally and make the changes internally to see an external change. And so shamanism deals with the spirit of things, deals with the essence of things, the consciousness of things. And so all consciousness in existence is within you. You are the entire universe. And so by operating and making changes from within yourself, you can then see the manifestation in external reality. So that's how that works. So guys, let me see here. What are we doing? How are we on time? So yeah, we have a minute. So I just want to say my Vedic astrology readings are on sale, and they're 25% off until the end of July. So if you want to go to you want a Vedic astrology reading, you would go to there in the white box there. It's vincent.thunderwizard.com. Okay, so Vedic astrology readings there, and there I will include a mantra for you. I will include a ritual for you so that you can start to, work on the things within yourself internally, your internal programming and things like that. And then if you go here, patreon.com/Gebo the Shaman, there I have high-level energy work practices, Qigong, Neigong, Kundalini Yoga, meditations, things like that. Those will be there. And so for any information, if you'd like more information on my services and things like that, my products, just go to the websites, go to patreon.com/Gebo the Shaman or thunderwizard.com or vincent.thunderwizard.com. So yeah, that's my spiel, guys. So thank you for watching. I'm trying to make these videos a little bit shorter. Obviously, you can tell that I can ramble on and on and on because I'm so passionate about this stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and we will talk to you later.